it's Ronnie. I'm having a new colored red and white bottle of Pepsi right now. It's cool. I just finally got home from work and fed the cats and everything. Had some people say, "Oh, how come we never get to see your face?" Well, here I am, and I got a haircut and everything, and look at it. And this is what I look like after work. I got the propeller done. One of those. Not that one. Not that one. It's still in my car because, well, brand new button propellers with tapered shaft. See, bigger hole there, small hole there, goes on a tapered shaft. That's why I don't use tapered shafts. I'm going to show you. I couldn't film it inside the factory. I used the milling machine that's within, it says, it's supposed to be not tens, hundreds, or thousandths of an inch. It's 1/100ths of thousandths of an inch that it will indicate you're moving. But left to right or forward and backward on the plane. But there's no, that's your X and Y. I don't know which one's which. This is, this way or this way on a flat plane. There's no measurement on height-wise variation. Okay? And I didn't have time to mess with it. I cannot film inside a factory with my camera whatsoever, but I'm going to show you and explain to you everything I did, and everything I did using the numbers left and right to find dead center everything and modify, I said, a propeller like this full of JB Weld and not have a tapered shaft. And first time I played with JB Weld, it's a little different, but it's what I want it to do. It's gonna work. But see, little hole, big hole. That means it's at an angle. Same as this. Manufactured, sold parts. They're cheap. Okay. And they work. And the idea is they're supposed to break if I hit something and not anything else. But anything brand new, electronic parts, computer boards, relays, quadcopter PC boards the size of a quarter, now a nickel, 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter. Everything. It's new doesn't mean it's going to work and it's going to be correct. New stands for never ever worked. Okay? Until you find out if it does the job it's supposed to. 90% of the time, new parts work. About 10% of the time, they don't. They're junk. They got an automatic failure when they pass through even computer controls and blah, 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 blah. New. Just remember, new means never ever worked. But I'm going to show you some cool stuff about the propellers, and why I designed my stuff the way I do. Within, I said, 2 or 3 1/100,000ths of an inch. But I'm very lucky, even though I have to do it all by hand and move it, I don't have to put a dial gauge on it or a caliper gauge and measure. It's just as you move it, it shows on a LED screen, but just this way or this way, not this way. So if something's out of square on the planet, we're hosed. Especially when you have to make stuff perfect through a hole and you want it centered, but it's got to go that thick. I'm going to show you something cool. I'll make the video about the prop that I experimented on. I said theoretically it should work. It's going to work. Got it all done, but I couldn't video any of it, and I have it. It's still in the car from after work. But and then yeah, about pulling metal and doing things, and everything I'm going to show is real life stuff I do. Okay, I don't have any degrees in anything except welding that's expired, certified, and yeah, computer stuff. But here's a kicker I want y'all to know. Even the LED readout on the design that gives me the measurements I need. I don't need algebra, okay? I don't need algebra. I got forward, left, right. Don't need algebra. Don't need them calculation bull craps. You just need the numbers, and they'll be right in front of you if you know where to look for them. And number 2, what was it I wanted to say? Do how you do. You don't have to have degrees. And oh yeah, here's a kicker. I've been very gifted by gods, the angels, the universe, whoever, to have a special ability to look at things. But the truth is, you know, and do anything without any degrees. I hated school and being taught. I learned all this by myself, but I have a natural ability to do it and find and be able to do and do correct and make sense of anything. I said, anything I want to play with. Computers, I design computers for people, gaming computers, water cooled stuff. I fly in the quads. I got videos, all the stuff of what I do, ones and zeros on computers, but there is always one factor. There's always one factor that can never be done by a computer. Every computer has to have the knowledge of numbers, of angles, of attack, of flow. And the only way any computer design or program can ever be made. You cannot just make a program out of oblivion to say, I'm going to make something that'll drill a hole this far and go this way and this way and this way. It's impossible. A computer cannot do it. The programmers make all the ones and zeros, and move this way or this way, or on anything. If it's not computers, if it's making this propeller nice and round and smooth on the edge, if it's making it flat and machined right where it's supposed to be and everything is cool, which I don't know on this one, I never checked it yet. There's no way any computer can do and check that, except the way every computer design, every computer program is set up is from a special freak like me, kind of, sort of, that are I'm not tooting my own horn, a master craftsman, okay? A master at what they do. You cannot make a computer just go, okay, make this and make all these forms and do this. You need something to copy. And you need all those micro measurements of information to plug in to the program so the computer knows what it's doing. You're never going to replace a master craftsman human, ever. I said, I'm very good at what I do. If I want to do, I can be within thousandths of an inch. I can do ones and zeros. I can do coding, which they used to call programming. I said, if I have enough time to do, I will do the best I can, which is probably in the top 1% of any human. But I have an advantage because you can think I'm nuts or not, but my human time has been over 250 years to see everything evolve. And my energy time between the human time and energy on the other side and is like 2,249 years now. Almost 50. 2,000 years. So I got a little advantage. Like, it comes naturally, but it's from experience. If you don't believe in the other side, if you don't believe in other lives, that's cool. But I said, there's nothing I cannot do if I, as just this human right now, and I'm 56 years old, if somebody doesn't give me the time, give me the information, the time, and the money, and I can make anything that is physically and hydraulically or humanly possible to the best of the knowledge without algebra or anything. I can make it happen. Believe in yourself, man. It's cool. But yeah, I'm going to show you about the other one. I have it in the car yet. I didn't bring it in, but new parts just mean new. They don't mean they're correct. Okay? I'm not dogging anything. But my design, my long tail, I said starts with a propeller on the end. And then you start at the end and then you work your way back up the chain. What you want to do is push a boat. I'm going to do it with a propeller, not a jet board or, any of them things. A regular propeller, I said, I'm going to explain all this and show it, but start at the bottom. But even with that propeller, my design and my ideas are different than what I could buy off the internet anywhere. And I used, JB Weld, but not that kind. I had to use Marine JB Weld. And theoretically, I said, hey, all that stuff, there's a reason. And I don't know, it works. And you're going to be amazed at what I show you by just using your own mind with brand new parts. I'm not dogging anything about the propeller or what, but I know exactly, and that's why you always check even brand new. Okay? Brand new doesn't, I said, never ever work. Never assume, because if you assume, those letters make an ass out of you and me. Never assume anything. Always check every part as much as you have an ability to do that's brand new. Okay? Because you'd be amazed at how many brand new parts that electronics or bearings or something, something that has to be. And that I'm gonna grab a feeler gauge and show you what I think it only goes down to maybe 1/1000th of an inch or 2/1000th of an inch, the smallest feeler gauge I got. And then take that and I can do 100,000ths, not 1,000th, 100,000ths of an inch. My design, what I'm doing is within 1,000th to 3,000ths. And the specs, if I could get them tighter by manufactured off the shelf parts, yeah, we'll see. When I go, I said I got it, and I paid for that chromoly tube that's supposed to be within 3 to 5,000ths, or give me 10,000 clearance and no bow or no wave in 10 feet and under 1/16th of an inch. But if something falls out and it's got a dent in it, and then I try to slide stuff in it, yeah, I said, as received, as delivered. There you go. But there's a way around that stuff too. I always plan for the worst and hope for the best. That's all you can do. But remember, every computer design, every computer program, anything that a milling machine does, or anything that a place picker does on computer. They had to use humans, the special humans that were good at one thing, the master of what they did, of just placing this little piece or machining this piece. There's no way you can make a computer program without copying the master craftsman, okay? And there's no reason if you decorate cakes. They've got machines now. You can put a round 10, 12-inch cake in it and full of stuffing just like 3D printers and decorate your cake for you. No kidding, go look it up. Anything that is automated via computer had to be copied by a human. Okay? It's so cool. Oh, and I'm going to show you why I said, I'm sorry, but I go by the company rules. I cannot run a cell phone camera, making a video while I was doing inside the factory, and I go by their rules. But I can show you exactly what and explain. It'll be in a video in a day or two, okay? And it's so cool. And I will show you why you never just assume new parts are new. They're brand new, don't mean they're correct, okay? But yeah, my ideas all worked, and everything I said. I'm going to have failures. This was the one thing I was worried about the most, is customizing these aftermarket propellers, and even the stainless ones would be the same, $160. I'm designing everything to be correct and perfect, not half-assed, okay? And I said I'm going to run into troubles, but right there's troubles by not doing half-assed. I'm going to show you. That could make the whole setup just work like crap. And I've done it, and it works, and my theory worked. And I'm going to show you why check, and because even a buddy of mine that knows how to run the machine had to show me how to set it up, well, how to change stuff, because I didn't want to mess it up, because I've never used it before. I've used stuff from the 70s that I know how to set up. I didn't know how to set up this machine. He showed me real quick, like 2 minutes, and boy, I got it squared up. And I taught him a few things. He's younger than me, but he's really good. But he goes, yeah, that's good enough. It's good enough. It's never good enough, close enough for me, unless it's where you can just take your fingers apart. That's when I design and build stuff. If it needs to be that way, which what I'm doing with this long tail, it's gonna be correct, totally correct. And then if it fails, I will be very understanding about what failed. If you do things just good enough and something fails, you never really know. Was it this that I took a shortcut on, or this that I made just good enough? Make it. I'm a Virgo, Aquarius, Virgo. If you're into astrology, which I don't think it means much, but total perfectionist and psycho on that stuff. So yeah, it just if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be as close to perfect as I can design it and build it. And nothing's on paper yet except just sizes of bearings I need. And yeah, here's you want to see my design? This is the motor. This is the motor. This is a shaft. This is a propeller. That's what I got. That's the only sketch I got anywhere. No measurements, no nothing. That's going to be my long tail. And theoretically, it's going to work, but I'm going to have some troubles. No problem. First experimental design. It's a prototype. but I want it as close as correct the first time. And then you don't have to keep redoing, and you just fix the little parts that come up that aren't quite correct. Not a whole. If you just do it good enough, you're never gonna know when something fails if this caused a failure, because everything's just good enough and not as close to perfect as you can get it. And then when you build it and it works, and if you want to manufacture it, that's where all the companies go, okay, now we got it squared up so we can make it just good enough and save this much money and it'll make it through our... No, I don't work that way. When I make something, it's supposed to last as long as possible. I will never cut corners on anything I build. The farmers I work with know. I said, companies I work with, big ones, worldwide giant ag companies, pushed me out because I wouldn't do things good enough. When they're paying money and they're my friends, it better be not just good enough, it better be correct and as close to perfect as can be. I will never lower my standards for me or anyone else. And I make mistakes. I pull stuff up, but so far, so good. I got the prop done, and I said I'd get my tubing Friday, and I'm still waiting on the drive shaft part. And just to make it all work correct is, I said, just that close of all of it, and then weld it and put it together without it warping or twisting. It's going to be fun, but I will do it correct, or I won't do it. I don't believe in good enough. I believe in as close to perfect as possible. And no human is perfect, and I got a lot of flaws. I smoke, I drink beer, I talk too much. But I love to explain and show. Anyone can do. If you can see it, or if you can hear it, or if you can feel it inside, and you have just for some reason, a calling to do it, try it. Try it super cheap, whatever, and just see. And if it feels good, keep going. And then that's how most small, tiny nothing that were never businesses turn into a wonderful personal owned business or build into a conglomerate. Okay? It all starts from in here, and here, and here, and here, and it all comes from your feeling, your desire, and just try it. You can do it. You can do it. You don't need major companies and all this stuff to help you start your idea. There's ways to do it. It says, look at my box of stuff here. This is what I'm doing my design with. Probably $40. Well, now I bought the bearings, but yeah. I started with wooden dowel chunks, wooden sticks, and about a total of $22 worth of parts altogether for proof of concept, to see if it was even feasible, excuse me, and it is. And the most troublesome part was going to be what I'm modifying the propeller. If that propeller don't work and it messes up, if I modify it and everything else is correct, it still ain't moving through the water. There you go. Love you. Believe in yourself. If you have a feeling in your heart, try it. There's simple ways to... You don't have to go out and build the whole thing. I said just do little bits and pieces and prototype little things and try it at a time. And then if it feels good, keep going. And keep going. Just a little. If it takes years and you just got a couple dollars. I've built stuff. I said I saved $5 a month or $5 a week for 2 years to make my experimental surround sound system that kicks butt. Don't get in a hurry. Pay attention and then play with it, and stuff's going to go wrong, and do it right. But if you feel it and you're drawn to it, do it, okay? Do it. If you're drawn, you'll know. The people that see this that I'm talking to will know. If it's only one person, they will know. If you're drawn to it, do it. Just, I don't have enough money. Well, everything costs money, but just, if you feel it, go for it. Don't push it off. Attempt to start to try it, and then if it all goes bad, you can always quit. But some stuff don't work. I went to come up with ideas and did prototypes to try, and no, it didn't work. Not meant to be. Do I get deterred? No. Next time I get a feeling to do this or something else, I still go with it. Nothing in a human life is correct and perfect, ever. But some days are better than others, and some things happen, and some things you think are going to happen don't, and the things you don't think are going to happen will work out. So, don't just be you. Don't cower in the corner. Don't be afraid. Don't be sad. Do what you can do. If you feel it, go for it. All right? Peace. Love, have a heart, because I'm holding my phone. Have a heart. Be kind to everyone, unless they're mean to you, then don't take that crap whatsoever. And don't ever let anyone tell you have to be different than who you are. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, causing anybody else any trouble, not inflicting pain or agony upon any other human, you keep doing how you are, and you don't have to follow the masses. Be you, all right? I love you. All right, I dragged that on too long. I'll try to get the video of the major thing, that little propeller pop. But yeah, if that don't work, nothing's going to work. Yeah, it's going to work. But yeah, I'm going to show you a little surprise. That surprised me. I thought I screwed up, but I didn't. It's cool. Love you. Have a good one, man. Peace. Love. It's all good. I'll be back. Ciao. Thanks. Thanks for watching if you like it. Just don't let anybody or anything stop you from, if you feel it inside, go for it. Okay? You feel it inside, go for it. It's amazing. The human ability is awesome if you let it happen. Okay? Love you. I will be back. I will see you later.